Looks like a mirror comp so far, so.
It does. Hanamura and assault maps in general are the ones where you can kind of pull out set executions, really interesting styles. Sombra been played a huge amount, both in Korea and North America we've seen.
Especially on the Nubus.
Volskaya as well, although it's not in this map pool. Well, we've seen a little bit of it on Hanamura, but for now, we're just going to be going head-to-head with pure brawn. It's triple DPS on both sides.
It's going to be uNKOE running the Ana, as opposed to Boombox again on the Zenyatta, so bit of a change there, not quite a mirror comp, but very close indeed. Rogue searching for the opportunities. It's going to be the left-hand flank so far being taken by eUnited. Just want to rotate around, find a weakness to exploit perhaps. Moving around the map quite carefully, quite patiently. Just going to get healed up now and try and take a superior fight once they've got the better position.
Very good disengage from Rogue as well, making sure that they don't get caught.
Right.
And that was the kind of thing that was happening on Numbani as well. Rogue able to catch out players from eUnited. Rogue not... Oh, well, I say that. winz is the first to fall here. That's a lot of healing being taken out of the equation, especially when Soon is so weak as well. But AKM and uNKOE have got a decent position here.
Running the Ana though, it's not exactly like they're lacking for heals right now. However, eUnited definitely finding the picks. AKM strikes back with a Helix rocket, but 3 picks already for eUnited moving into this first attack. They're about to get a second tick, and Rogue do not want to defend it in the slightest. They've backed off, and a very quick nano boost being up here for uNKOE. I'd imagine they'd probably use this in defense on Nox. It's pretty good. Nano Winston.
For sure. You're able to delay the point much more as well.
Boombox does have the Transcendence here. Could be a counter to it.
And they might have uNFixed up if he manages to take a top position and do a lot of damage in the fight, and towards the end of the fight they might be able to come in with his tactical visor. Vallutaja misses the stick, not quite able to find that pulse bomb, but they are still going to commit the Transcendence to it as well, so eUnited want to try and take this one.
Soon has been on point with these pulse bombs. He hasn't been sticking it too much on the DPS, but he's been absolutely shutting down sharyk so many times throughout all of these maps essentially. They've been focusing them down heavily. This will be cleanup duty right now for Rogue. I think playing as janitors.
I think if we had seen, like, if someone was tracking it, I reckon that Soon would be the guy with the highest accuracy for pulse bomb stakes out of almost any of the top tier tracers that I've watched. He has just a phenomenal accuracy, and it turns the fight so often because it's a large ultimate. Like, the difference between sticking it and not sticking it is an entire kill on the board.
Yes. That one pick can mean absolutely everything. It suits Rogue's playstyle so well as well. Moving into this, Rogue have ults to defend with. eUnited close to a Dragon Blade. They have attack visor as well, and Morte is going to be getting a sound barrier, but it's a bit of an unfavorable situation. Rogue have lots of opportunities to move in here. I think they're going to be moving in with Nox, and he claims the first kill onto uNFixed.
Putting a lot of pressure on Nox might have been their best option there, but instead the tide was turned. He took a biotic grenade, lots of healing, put down his own shield. There was no ability to block the heals coming out from uNKOE as well. And eUnited instead just going for building up their own ultimates. But at some point, they need to start getting them out of Rogue as well, because Rogue spawns are so much closer.
Super important not to lose anybody on these 2 CP maps, especially for offense here. That's why you see eUnited backing out instantly as soon as they lost uNFixed there.
Huge delay in terms of when you can next take a fight. Boombox, the only guy on his team without an ultimate, as they storm into the top ground. sharyk plays his shield, I think, but slept on the floor, just taking a nap on the job. Get up, sharyk. Your team needs you.
They're moving in regardless. Vallutaja with the pulse bomb onto AKM. That's going to be committing as well, as NiCO wants to move into Dragon Blade. Kruise as well is going to be a nano boost used on him. Deflect from Kruise, I should say, is going to keep him nice and healthy. Still trying to find the kills. Beautiful so far. And it will be a defense by Rogue once again.
I think that's pretty good, though, from just having a boogie on the bridge.
That's such a good emote.
I don't think that's too bad from eUnited, to be honest, because they used 2 of their ultimates that are the most expendable to be able to get ultimates out of Rogue, and they replied with the Nano Blade, so that's one of their support ults down. That Nano Boost coming out from uNKOE being fairly important. They're getting also close to their Transcendence. They can try and make a decent push here and get some good value out of it. Kruise might even be able to build up a lot of ultimate if the fight drags on.
Boombox claims the first kill soon, maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew there. Now going to be moving in as a sound barrier committed by eUnited. Tack visor used by both teams. uNFixed wants to try and find the kills. He's found one. NiCO with the deflect though will bring him down. Tries to claim the second one. eUnited finding a bit of a foothold here. Boombox still holding onto his tranquility as well. Moving in soon, just trying to delay and stagnate this point for as long as they possibly can. Trying to cap it up. They only need a sliver onto the point and they've done it. Cap it out from underneath Rogue. Unreal performance there by eUnited towards the tail end.
That was unbelievably close. KnOxXx was a millimeter away from the point with Primal Rage active. That 1,000 health could have swung the fight utterly in their favor. But it was honestly the tiniest little difference. A hair's breadth of cap time was all it took there. And they're able to steal it away in what is actually a pretty good time.
Kruise is sweating a little bit. He's feeling the heat.
It's hot. Yeah.
It is hot.
It is hot.
It is genuinely warm.
And it's very warm.
And there is a lot of pressure. This team was supposed to be reaching peaks to be able to peak towards the end of this tournament and take it away. And instead, they're coming up against a powerhouse of Rogue. I think a lot of teams, I think, in Europe as well were kind of underplaying, perhaps, or at least mentally, even if they weren't saying the win streak of Rogue, thinking, you know, they were...
We can take him. I mean, what's the difference in career in Europe anyway, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
we could beat Lunatic Eye.
But this is where they really get to match up against each other and see exactly how the regions compare and how you're able to, and how the styles clash as well. And so far, it has been Rogue in the better end of it. But that's a good attack from eUnited.
Very good.
The worry is, so far, their attacks have not been too bad. Their defenses, though, have been where Rogue has just crushed them.
Very true. I would love to see that fight again and break it down, really. Rogue had a lot of ults there.
They did, yeah.
Not really sure what happened.
It was really strange.
AKM got picked off. Maybe didn't get the Transcendence there from uNKOE.
Yeah, I think winz used Sound Barrier pretty early on. AKM didn't catch any of the support ults and died. They'd already popped the Blade as well. And KnOxXx, I think, crucially died before he could pop off his Primal Rage and be able to stall. So Soon was just left kind of dancing onto the point, unable to really capture.
Yeah, Morte with a great boop there at the end as well to really get them off the point.
Yeah,
cap it.
Absolutely.
These micro mistakes that really cost these games.
Look at this composition from eUnited as well, though, making a fairly big change. Running the Ana Zen.
I like this. Ana Zen on defense is very good.
With the Diva.
With the Diva, indeed. Big changes there. This is probably the biggest change we've seen in their composition so far today. Map number 3 of Rogue versus eUnited. Currently, Rogue on the attack, trying to find an opening, trying to find an opportunity here.
A lot more peel. Huge amount more peel. I mean, the Lucio has disappeared, right? But you've got the Diva there. And Boombox much more difficult to be able to pick. Morte back on the Zen as well. Thinking back to late 2016. That's where he was. Starts with a really nice headshot onto Soon, removes him from the picture. This fight...
Well played by Morte.
Still going on, though, towards the left-hand side.
Rogue playing it super patient, just waiting now for the players to respawn. But you got to remember, when you're on this defense, it's very important. Any death at all is going to be hugely impactful because Rogue's respawns are so much closer on the side of eUnited.
Morte actually did used to be a pretty excellent Zen back when people used to play the Zen Monkey Dive ages back.
Yeah.
So back in the mid-2016 when they were playing at the Atlantic Show.
1944.
not that far back, perhaps. But
Kruise in a bit of trouble. Good strike from NiCO. He's moving in. Dragon Blade used. Defense Matrix can't save you from that one, Sunshine. And he's moving in for further kills. NiCO cleaning up, finding the opportunities for Rogue. Wonderful, wonderful attack coming out from them.
Huge play by NiCO.
Great Dragon Blade performance. Managed to get a huge amount of value out of it. That was one of the things that Rogue has been struggling with recently. Teams being able to shut down NiCO and then feeling that they have to put him over onto the Diva. But so far, that was the other thing that people were raising at Apex, right? Was, is this LAN nerves? Is NiCO just an onliner? Can he not perform at LAN? Well, so far, he is silencing the doubters.
He's playing phenomenally. I mean, everyone on Rogue right now is Soon. You've got Soon playing out of his absolute mind, creating so much space for his team. NiCO as well, playing absolutely on point. KnOxXx is incredible as well. Haven't been talking about him too much, but his bubbles and saves as well. He's been blocking off a lot of the healing. Coming out from Boombox here in these engagements when he's been on the Ana, blocking that line of sight. Huge performance coming out from them, but now they've got to attack into eUnited.
Difficult comp to break here as well. This Ana Zen works on both points. They don't really need the Lucio to be able to speed boost engage. The height much better. sharyk taking so much damage there.
Ooh, vallutaja, that's dirty, man.
Incredible stuff to pick out both of their supports with a single pulse bomb, and that's going to send Rogue packing. They can't afford to commit to the rest of the fight, despite the fact that they got a really good opening.
That changed that completely. If he didn't hit that stick, it would have been a completely different engagement because Rogue would have been able to fully commit to that fight. vallutaja clutching it when he needed it most.
Yeah, look at the ults from eUnited. They still have all their ults. They have vallutaja with a big play there.
The silver lining for Rogue is that they didn't really invest any of their own. 5 ults just about to be online. 5 minutes for them as well, still in the time bank. So a lot of time to crack this one, but they need a plan.
Absolutely. Soon holding onto his pulse bomb. Kruise opting to use a Dragon Blade. Collects one, collects two. The third one is free. And my goodness, that is unreal. He's searching for the second kill, or the fourth kill, I should say, onto NiCO there. NiCO just running off the map. sharyk wants to chase him down to the tail ends of the earth with the Primal Rage. My goodness. 2 ults used there, was it? Or maybe it was 3 ults, right? Yeah, Nanoblade and also the Primal Rage.
But still, fairly good value out of it.
Yeah.
They got the Primal Rage out of the other side, so that's just traded. I guess it's actually more useful for eUnited to keep hold of the Primal Rage to be able to stall it in that sense, but they won't be feeling too bad about this, but certainly an opening for Rogue with both of their support ultimates. They've got a bit more sustainability, because Boombox is on that Ana.
And Rogue seems to have hit a bit of a brick wall. As I say that, soon finds the first kill onto Morte. NiCO moves in with the Dragon Blade. Collects one, forced to wait patiently for now. Can he get the second swing? Not quite. vallutaja just evading him out of it. sharyk now leaping onto the point, trying to defend it. Great stick by Soon. Brings down sharyk once again, on point with these stickies. Finds another one now. vallutaja's time to strike. He's going to put in the damage, but not enough to bring down KnOxXx, as the heals are definitely there. Still, equally being fought out. AKM on the high ground with the attack visor is putting in a lot of work into eUnited. The defense is still here, however, for eUnited.
Oh, just about. They managed to get there right in the nick of time. Only a single tick been taken. It felt like Rogue would be able to get so much more out of that. eUnited building up that nano boost as well from Boombox. This composition's working well for them, but it looked sticky there for a moment. Just vallutaja, uNFixed, and Morte having to use his Transcendence just to keep the point alive.
Lovely, lovely plays there. uNKOE finds an entry onto Kruise, but by the time they capitalize off it, he's going to be respawning anyway. Rogue just playing it nice and slow for now, looking for an opportunity or two. I think that Bio-Grenade might have been blocked there by KnOxX's shield. sharyk is going to be finding the first pick onto winz, and again, another opening that Rogue just cannot push off. Again, because the spawn advantage for eUnited here, it's so hard to play into this when it's 5v6.
Especially when there's all of these ultimates up as well from eUnited. Even if they put the pressure onto people, they would have to, I think, put a huge amount of damage down into sharyk to try and pop out his Primal Rage and then see if they can force a favorable fight. They have it from KnOxXx as well, but they really don't have any other ultimates to pair alongside of it. And it's difficult to force out the Dragon Blade.
Oh, it's a Nano Blade by Kruise, searching for the openings. He's slicing and dicing, but not finding it, just slashing at air. AKM finding the opening, post-bomb by vallutaja, collects it onto uNKOE, trading 1 for 1. Is this still going to be winnable here for Rogue? They're trying to fight it, but are they backing off? vallutaja will fall too soon. Don't know if that's quite the opening they were looking for, however.
Here's the thing though, Fisher, you're a Genji main. Kruise using it in that situation, it kind of felt like he was trying to push his way into a corridor when Rogue were just waiting for an opportunity to fight. Couldn't he have waited with that one?
I don't really mind the play that much. He simply just missed his dash there. He dashed into the wall, pretty unfortunate, but vallutaja really salvaging that situation with that bomb there would have been super dangerous for eUnited there if he didn't get that.
Still dangerous territory though. Only the Transcendence online for them along with the self-destruct, but how much is that self-destruct really going to do? Whereas Rogue, both of their support ults up and Soon lurking around, waiting. Wow. He's like a shark. He's got Boombox in his sights as well, seeing if he can get the stick. He has to approach slowly though. Now back, just biding his time with this ult.
Rogue are finding the picks. They've already collected 2. sharyk's going to be falling here. Now the Tranquility coming out from them. There is a good Bio-Grenade onto the side of Rogue, but it is going to pass, and they are going to get healed up. And Morte going to be using the Tranquility of his own. Self-destruct also sent out. Still Rogue coming out on top. Sound barrier used to just finish off the end of this fight. KnOxXx moving further forward as well. AKM using attack visor to just try and clean up as many players as they possibly can. It's already reached 2 ticks. Rogue slamming it home. And there is no defense there for eUnited. And they get a reasonable time. Not the greatest. 1 minute in the time bank left. But still, very, very good attempt there by Rogue.
I think the thing to take away though, if you're eUnited, is that you've put up a solid defense now.
Yes.
You'd kind of failed on Numbani to put up any shred of a defense. When they had control of the points on Nepal, they were also giving them up really quite easily. Rogue were able to take control and ended up winning that one 3-0. And now on Hanamura, they finally pieced something together that seems to work fairly well for them. It's also a difficult map to be able to push for starters, but it's comforting for them that they're not just getting rolled over when they're on defense. They can put up a good attack and a good offense on this.
Worked really well so far, at least. I mean, there is a problem though in the whole you don't have 2 defensive now because you're playing Ana Zen.
Right.
You don't have the buffer to make many mistakes, and you saw their eUnited make the mistake of investing 3 ults and really not getting much. Kruise died with the nano blade there, vallutaja salvage situation, but really Rogue kind of took advantage of it and saved their ults, being patient again.
mean, talk about vallutaja for a bit, because he's been playing incredibly well as well. Phenomenal play in all of his stickies as well in that final defense. Time and time again, clutching it for his team.
Both tracers amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of these tracers have a huge individual performance. I think they've been able to work together as a system better so far for Rogue, but it's not looking like that so far, on Hanamura at least. A minute on the clock here for them to take as many points as they possibly can, coming out with triple DPS, uNKOE on Zen again. This has been their classic offensive composition so far.
eUnited sticking with the exact same defensive comp that they were running before as well. There's 2-2 Peel, the Ana Zen searching for opportunities here, there, and everywhere. Right now, Rogue just trying to bring down uNFixed out of that mech, but the heals are definitely coming in fast. It's the advantage of having Boombox on that Ana. His long-range heals capabilities. Bio Grenade gets sent into Rogue as well, and they're forced to back off for a little bit. There is going to be Kruise, who's going to be the first casualty. Moving in here as well. uNFixed in a bit of trouble. Might get demeched in the end. He just backs off around the corner. 30 seconds remaining. Is this still salvageable for them? AKM finding the kill. Morte, however, following up onto uNKOE. This is looking very sticky right now for them.
Morte's going ham. He's got some ridiculous orbs flying out here. He's at 85%. He's been charging it so well. In comes a nano boost as well, as Boombox was getting all of that done through healing of uNFixed, I think. Taking so much damage. And now with 5 seconds left, can Rogue even get back onto the point here?
They've definitely got Soon on Tracer to try and basically tick it over. NiCO forced to pop off a few ults, and meanwhile, actually, they're going to be finding a kill here. sharyk gets it onto Winston. Onto winz, I should say. KnOxXx going to be using that Primal Rage, just trying to force them out. The overtime ticket over, though. They need to basically play onto the point here. Salvage going to be coming out from uNFixed as well. Kills rolling in for Rogue.
How are they
salvaging this? This is ridiculous into the final moments. How are they managing this?
Clutching it just when it mattered, and uNFixed going to be demeched. He's sure to fall. eUnited spawns so far back. There's no possible way that they're going to be able to block that.
But now they've got 30 seconds, right?
Pulled it out of nowhere. Yeah, they get very minimal time on the board, but the fact, frankly, that they were able to take the 3rd point there is still massive for them.
Is NiCO going to make a switch here? He's standing at spawn. Yes, he's going to be going to the D.Va. This could work out beautifully for them right now. They've got uNKOE's Tranquility to try and entry with. No support ults on the side of eUnited. Only Kruise's Dragon Blade, which isn't really enough to burst through the likes of the Tranquility. Not even a nano boost to accompany him. And now they're going to be moving in, just playing it patiently. So sound boost, or sound barrier going to be used to initiate in. Boombox in a bit of trouble. They dive onto the back lines. They find the entry kill. Need to stick around to the point for a little bit. 2 seconds ticking down. It is going to go to the overtime here. Now it's going to be the Dragon Blade used by Kruise. Does collect the kill, 20 HP on the mark. Needed to clutch it for his team there, but soon it's going to equal it out just in the tail end of it. Still, 1 tick on the board right now for Rogue. A phenomenal attacking attempt right now. They're finding so many picks, contested just by Boombox now. Left in the corner, uNKOE's popping off all over the place. How do they manage to get 2 ticks? I think they might have. It's going to be, surely they're not going to get it. That's unbelievable.
What on earth just happened? What did I just witness? 4 points. 30 seconds they had to be able to take that. Look, they don't even look phased. Soon's just taking a sip like, yep, do this every day, boys.
How did that even happen? You know, it looked so good on the first point there.
Yeah, and they looked fantastic. Morte was getting all of the kills. They come in at the final moments. I think perhaps they tried to push forward slightly too far, or they got a pick. I mean, Soon, I think, as well, had a phenomenal pick onto Boombox as they were pushing into B, on that final point, where if he doesn't clutch out plays like that, Rogue just aren't able to take it. But they just pull it out when it matters. That was an unbelievable offense.
I think the turning point in that fight was when Boombox immediately got focused down. He missed the sleep dart when they were coming onto him. If he hit that, potentially 1 more DPS out of the equation, it may have survived a bit longer because it was only KnOxXx, I think, jumping onto his back lines. Not really enough damage to try and burst him down, so we could have potentially gone back to the safe little nest of his spawn, but in this case, Rogue just hammer it home. An unreal showing, honestly, on Hanamura.
That is the worst case possible for eUnited.
It is.
Because they have a minute on the board, a minute 3 seconds, plus 30 seconds that they get later. It's unlikely they're even going to get point A, and then eUnited have 3.5 minutes, almost definitely going to be able to win. Even if they get point A, surely they're not going to get that much cap on point B and we can win. They now have 3.5 minutes, plus any additional time to be able to capture 2 points. Otherwise, they're going down 3-0 in this series.
eUnited sticking with what they know. It's going to be Boombox on the Zen once again, running that single tank, triple DPS. Moving in, NiCO right now just waiting patiently. What a bio grenade! That is disgusting! Oh my goodness.
That was dirty. They're gone. We're never going to see him again.
Disgusting name.
That was honestly filthy. That was unbelievable.
That ability is so powerful as well.
I need to find some more synonyms for the word unbelievable because I've just said it so many times in this game, but Rogue are just impressing me time and time again.
The coordination as well is so good.
Yeah.
The fact that uNKOE just gets that incredible thing and they're able to follow up on it in an instant and obliterate eUnited was fantastic positioning. But it hasn't really set them back too much. A minute taken off the clock. winz falls to Boombox, who's got great aim on that.
Another
one.
What is
And
that?
the follow-up is so fast. So fast, so deadly, into the top. eUnited shredded immediately. This, I don't know whether I've really seen this level of coordination from even Rogue in so long.
Do you know, it reminds me of the set plays that Envious do. You know,
Yeah.
they've been experimenting a lot recently with, I guess, it's on the same sort of level of the Sombra plays that they do, where they get the hacks, the EMPs in time, timing it perfectly with Earth Shatters and whatnot. It's the exact same. These set nades that they've clearly practiced. Rogue are very confident here on Hanamura.
They know exactly where they're going to be going as well. eUnited finding it difficult to even build ultimates here as well because they get themselves set up inside a house. They're not even taking a fight and taking poke and generating ults, and then they just get wiped out. uNFixed as well falls right at the beginning. They've only got under 2 minutes, a minute and a half really on the clock here by the time uNFixed gets back in the fight. Rogue look unbeatable.
This is crazy. 1 minute 30 on the clock right now for eUnited to make a last-ditch effort. They're taking a lot of damage as they're trying to enter into this fight right now. AKM with the Helix Rocket brings him down, knocks the follow-up onto vallutaja. The Nano Boost was used onto NiCO. Didn't even need the Dragon Blade to try and single that one out. And now it is just sprinkled down to a minute for eUnited. And they are, it's feeling almost on the realms of impossibility. They do have ults to use. Boombox with his Trank.
And Morte as well is going to have the sound barrier. sharyk should be able, I think, to build it up. But they're playing so aggressively, just trying to knock them off tempo really early on. NiCO's fallen though. They've had to force a huge amount of ultimates to even be able to get into this one. But Rogue have overextended. Players are dropping. Kruise with an excellent Dragon Blade, and they've forced open. They've kicked down this door. And Hanamura A is waiting for them on the other side.
That's exactly what they needed. And now Rogue, look at this, they're just backing off. Looking like they might want to attempt it. AKM was feeling it a little bit, but no, Rogue forced to back off. They're not going to contest this. Going to be having to hold this last point. All of the back of Kruise's really, really nice Dragon Blade.
A cheeky little play, but they got punished super hard when NiCO went in with that blade. Maybe didn't accept the Boombox and ult there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were just trying to force them out and hoping that they could disengage as well, but they got caught in and, as you say, really badly punished because now they've really opened it up. eUnited with a similar time that Rogue did.
Ooh, wow, vallutaja with the opening onto AKM. That's going to start things off thick and fast. vallutaja finding another one onto winz. Pretty impressive stuff so far. These are 2 picks they might need. Trying to get the ticks over. They need to get this cap. Only 30 seconds on the clock. They're moving into it. They're finding the picks. AKM with the tag visor. He's trying his hardest. Morte gets the boop into the final moment. Unreal by eUnited.
How have they both done it? 45 seconds on the clock there for eUnited. That is unbelievable from both teams.
Extraordinary series so far, not gonna lie, gentlemen.
You chose the right one, Fisher, perhaps? We'll see. I mean, some of the ones later on should also be fantastic, but this, I was really looking forward to, and this is how I expected it to be as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel like eUnited are hitting their form, or is it just a good map for them, or what's happening that we're seeing it be much closer on Hanamura than it was on either of the previous 2 maps?
I think Rogue just made that crucial mistake there on first. There, I love the sneaky little play, but as soon as they didn't get anything, I think they should have backed off. The snowball from there, just Rogue getting punished again.
Yeah. And it's so easy to snowball on these assault maps. It's one quick mistake is these micro mistakes, and Rogue, that wasn't quite a micro mistake, that was a macro mistake. That was massive.
Well, they certainly opened the door for them, didn't they? They invited them in, and eUnited, thank you very much.
We'll take first checkpoint, no problem.
And then the second as well, though, to be able to roll it through, it's got a lot of fast-paced snowball momentum, right? Normally when people talk about Overwatch, talk about snowballing, they're all about ultimates being generated and being able to like chain a couple into another. This was purely about getting there incredibly quickly, diving into their face, removing positioning, massive amounts of damage, forcing them out. And they both teams managed to chain that together so well. But now, Rogue on the attack, 1 minute on the board. Still, both teams with these divey compositions, Rogue with the triple DPS on attack.
uNFixed on the Diva as well. Needs to be noted. Going to be running that peel comp. The initiations moves in from both these teams, searching for an opportunity. It's going to be sharyk just seeing if he can hunt for it down. He's got a Discord orb on him. NiCO's in a bit of trouble though. The dive is definitely there, but look at that. eUnited finding the kills anyway. The damage being put in. AKM is going to trade it up a little bit as he does bring down sharyk. And at the end of the day, I think kills on the defense can be much more valuable when you're on the attack. But when the time is low, running low like this, Kruise at the Swift Strike, he's finding the damage. winz is in so much trouble. Forced to back off. uNKOE's going to fall as well.
Couple of players getting caught in there, and that's disastrous for Rogue. By the time that they spawn, uNKOE might not even be able to get into this fight. Only 10 seconds left for them to be able to contest. Soon is the guy that they wanted to do it as well, and he's been removed. Swift Strike to the face. Same as vallutaja. They're just getting in position here. KnOxXx making sure that the point stays active. They've got one last fight to be able to do this.
How can they do this? vallutaja's got the pulse one. He's hanging on to it. The overtime is ticking over, but the kill feed is entirely red as eUnited are filling it up. uNKOE's going to be trying to even it out. NiCO's going to get forced down. Post bomb committed. Boombox is going to claim it with his own little grenade. The overtime trailing down into the final moments as soon as the last man on the point, and it will be the full hold there from eUnited.
What a great play by those guys. They managed to lock them out because it's dangerous territory. If they give it up, they've only got a minute themselves.
Yeah.
You would expect both teams here to be able to lock each other out. 0.0% as well. So they need to be able to get that tick here to win the map. But been so close between eUnited and Rogue on Hanamura.
Great stuff from eUnited there, punishing those people caught up on the right side there with only 30 seconds left. The Rogue people need to either suicide there or completely get out. And since they didn't, eUnited punished them, went for the late kills, got soon when there was only 15 seconds left on the clock. Really crucial.
And the way that that whole fight started as well was sharyk super deep, Discord orb on him, but he's just trying to bait them around the corner further into the house so that they can get a sight line so that Morte and Kruise can do a huge amount of damage in there. Kruise ended up picking up a couple of kills. They were able to snowball that, but it was on a knife's edge. If sharyk falls, if he takes too much damage, they're in a horrible position playing that his main tank has gone down. And really their forwards aggression, because uNFixed on the Diva is going to be trying to peel instead. But now eUnited have to be able to do what Rogue could not and take at least a tick.
Need that one tick.
Just, it's only 33% or 33.3 recurring, you know, just a third.
Repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course. That reference game on point.
On point.
Thank you, Abdul.
Scoring those points with Blizzard. eUnited going for the attempt here. And this is going to be their final attempt. 1 minute, 12 seconds on the board to work with. NiCO patiently waiting.
Sneaky.
Oh, gets in a lot of damage. Beautiful. That's going to reset the Swift Strike. He gets the elimination. Does he want to dive in? Still eUnited. Have to rotate around. Have to keep the positioning, the concise unit that they're currently keeping right now. Still 55 seconds. Laid down.
Problem is, how does Boombox reconnect with the rest of his team? And they're just kind of feeding themselves in here. Rogue are going to collapse on them 6v5. If they get a better engagement out of it, but uNKOE's been booped off. Soon finds the pick. They are going to be able to turn it here, Rogue. They're staying alive. Boombox couldn't quite get into the fight and help the rest of his team. He's still outside. He's actually getting pressured down, I think, as well. Although Soon has backed off now. So this is reset. 30 seconds left.
Did lose uNKOE there. He's going to be late for this fight, possibly.
Only 40% as well, so no tempo nano boost like they've been using on previous maps. On Numbani, that came up huge for them. Oh, vallutaja getting the better end of Soon here as well.
Pulse bomb down Soon. Look, he managed to find NiCO in the midst of it. That's unreal. That's an opening for them to work off. Now they're going to be finding it, moving around. vallutaja with another one onto Soon. Ridiculous. Boombox forced to back off. AKM's got the Discord orb on him, though. He's in a bit of a troubling situation. Has the tag visor, opting to use it now. Final moment. They're so close. They need this last tick. They're moving in. The sound barriers used by eUnited, and they claim it.
Oof. What a play by eUnited, able to do what Rogue could not, storm into that first one. vallutaja, what a pulse bomb into another kill. Fantastic plays from that man on your screens.
Kruise on the Widow.
Widow attack, we've definitely seen it. A lot of Korean teams trying to run it into the triple DPS as well. Got a little bit bumped out there. Great against the triple DPS, of course, because you have such low health targets on the other side. Boombox getting the first pick onto KnOxXx. A lot of pressure being applied here right outside the gates, but they've got the tools to deal with it. It's just going to take a bit of time off the board.
It's that classic Rogue matchup. Kruise finding a headshot there onto AKM to the tail end of that fight. Rogue just going to be feeding the bodies into the cart machine and trying to stop it for as long as they possibly can. I
Is that
really
the
like...
fuel it uses?
Yeah,
Is
just
that how you
bodies,
move
just the
payload?
souls of the enemies. That's what it uses to push forward.
That makes sense, you know? Fits with the law.
eUnited probably scouted Rogue a bit on this map, you know? The close hold, really effective, but if you pick that Widow, you can really punish this close hold.
I think they've got to be expecting this, right? This might even have been the one that eUnited would go for. It's super good for the triple DPS dive team, so they both have a very similar style.
Nox just Goomba stomping there on the Cruise. Didn't let it get away with that. AKM follows it up as well. Good defense with those 2 picks. Really, no attempts can be made here by eUnited to try and contest it any further forward. Boombox, though, this man somehow, I don't know how he does it, just snipes Tracers.
They're actually having a difficult time, the Tracers. They're also playing phenomenally, but they have been taken out repeatedly by these Zens.
Yeah.
That was something that we've been talking to a couple of the players. They really rate the European Zens. They say that's a particular speciality of the region. And Boombox, Morte as well, uNKOE really showing how good they are on that particular hero.
I do feel like Boombox is one of the best Zenyatas in the world. Potentially. I mean, obviously we haven't had enough international tournaments to tell that, but he plays phenomenally well and supports his team in ways that I can only dream of. But here we are. They're moving in regardless. eUnited collecting the first kill onto uNKOE. Going to be trading it out, however. NiCO going to be picking up that health pack as well, so he's nice and chipper, trying to bring down vallutaja. Still, it's the Rogue speciality, just playing around the cart, not letting them get any cap time whatsoever.
They're so good at this initial defense as well. They play it really aggressive early on, so that even if they completely wipe, eUnited are not going to be able to push the payload any further than this, and they can still recontest. And of course, the defenders have the high ground at the beginning of it as well, as it gets around to this first checkpoint. Loads of ultimates up for them as well. They haven't had to use anything, just relying on their positioning to be able to trade that for damage, and eventually get the numbers advantage and collapse. eUnited so far have come up against a brick wall, moving Kruise over to D.Va in an attempt to be able to just get into their faces, contest the high ground.
Interestingly enough, I mean, I'd argue that this is one of the hardest points to take away from Rogue, just because the spawns are so close and they play such a high mobility composition. vallutaja's being a bit sneaky, moving in, goes for the post-bomb attempt onto the back line, doesn't quite hit it. He's going to have to back off here. Tranquility also going to be used by Boombox to try and keep his team alive, but it was Soon who found the first kill onto uNFixed. Not letting him pop off that tac visor whatsoever. Morte has his sound barrier if he wants to try and pop it off. It's going to be a nano blade moved in. Morte opts to use the support ult. A bit questionable as they didn't have the players in, and it's going to be a 2k for NiCO, possibly even a third, as he's kind of trying to bring down these final few players. vallutaja going to be recalling back.
Yeah, and Boombox pops his Transcendence there without any ultimates really being used from Rogue. It was a Primal Rage in his face and a little bit of just raw aggression, and Boombox pops it out. It was a little bit early, perhaps they hadn't had the position that they wanted, but then Morte feels like they have to commit to that fight as well and uses his sound barrier.
Yeah.
There isn't really enough to go through an entire nano blade anyway. Fair enough for a normal blade, but they're still going to be able to get the damage there regardless and end up getting the wipe. And now eUnited have used some of their best tools and they're getting destroyed. There's only 20 seconds left and they're almost going to be full held at the first checkpoint.
uNFixed falls again at the start of that fight. He had the tac visor. That was their win condition to a degree. Soon's picking up the straggler kills as well. vallutaja just died so late. Only 10 seconds on the point. This is the Rogue speciality. You can see why they picked up Gibraltar. 100% one of the most comfortable maps they're really playing on right now. Now AKM, he's up above. He's got the tac visor, popping it off. It's going to be the soundbar as well, used by Rogue, just to really stroll out this fight, keep him nice and alive. It's going to be the tac visor used by uNFixed as he's arrived into the fight, but they can't leave the point here. Overtime ticking over. uNKOE's going to get jumped on, but he's forced back into the building. They can't really chase him down. The kills rolling in here for the side of Rogue. AKM gets a nano boost as well, just for the hell of it, to try and put in that damage. I think sharyk is a dead man. Indeed he is. Or dead monkey, I should say.
Dead gorilla.
Dead scientist. Doesn't like the word monkey.
True. Well, eUnited's attack is dead as well.
Strong.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They looked absolutely deadly on that one. eUnited couldn't even take the slightest bit of position with their composition.
The blue bin area is so hard to crack, especially in triple DPS versus triple DPS. I think that's why Kruise swapped over to the D.Va there, because on defense, your Rogue, they have a soldier and an Ana set up on the high ground, and you have to deal with them if you want to crack this defense. But if you deal with them, well, then you leave Soon and Nox and NiCO roaming around, just killing your supports in the backline. So even if you invest all your resources into killing the high ground, you still have 3 amazing players killing off your supports.
One of the things that has been most successful for the North American teams on this particular segment...
NiCO's got such a smug face on him, hasn't he?
He was typing
so
as well.
happy.
I bet he was just sending some like BM message. He was like, very easy defense, by the way. No, he's a nice little chap. But something that the North American teams do more often than when they're playing against Rogue is run tanky compositions at the beginning. I think just to kind of drag Rogue down to the cart and play more as a death ball so that they're denying position just by virtue of having a huge health pool on the cart that they have to stop with their people and to do damage to it, and then having to switch that up for the hangar section to actually get value out of the verticality. Instead, eUnited just going for the full-on mirror matchup, at least at the beginning, and it didn't work out in their favor. They were just getting battered back whenever they tried to take the high ground. Very difficult to work their way around the right.
Oh, man. That emote is so good.
The new dances are so great.
They're honestly incredible.
Good job, Lizard.
Good job, Lizard. Good job. Yeah. It's always top quality animations that come out in Overwatch, isn't it? They always find a way to steal my money. Always find a way. Every event, I just think today I'm not going to spend 50 quid on loot boxes. No, not happening. Sorry, lads. You're going to have to be living off pot noodles for the next week. But it's going to be Rogue's time to attack, and they have not got far to push it in the slightest. eUnited really need to be playing out of their minds if they want to be trying to secure this map.
NiCO and D.Va, they're playing much more around the cart as well, seeing if they can just force eUnited out of position to contest them. They really don't have to go that far. They can just threaten the cap time, and eUnited are going to be forced to collapse, and then they can take the fight down there where the defense matrix is going to take out a lot of their aggressive...
Look how far it's pushed already. They just had no contention from eUnited, playing so passive, moving in, searching for the opportunity. Nox wants to lead the charge for his team, just holding the front lines for now. Boot back, contested, leaps back in. eUnited need to be playing on point now. The Discord orb going to be placed onto Kruise. Forces him back immediately. They need to find some picks, and uNFixed is going to claim the first one to AKM, but is it enough?
That's a good start. uNFixed with the second as well. Both of the hit scans taken out of this composition, and that's going to make Rogue back out of there. sharyk was actually doing an incredible job along with vallutaja and uNFixed of just contesting the point without actually committing to it. All of their players stay in these high ground positions, but sharyk just dances backwards and forwards. That was why it was so dangerous when winz booped him away, because if he doesn't have the jump, they just get free time, and it's so close to being capped already. They're playing on a knife's edge, both of these teams.
This is it, Rogue's second attempt here, moving in, 3.1 meters left to push in. They've got 2.5 minutes to do it. Almost in the realms of impossibility here for eUnited, but they're certainly going to be trying their hardest. Soon in the background, wants to try and take the 1v1 with vallutaja. Post bomb is there, doesn't really want to commit it. In this scenario, he's going to claim that kill in the end. It's a 1v1, there we go. He's going to be moving in with the Dragon Blade alongside the Nano Boost.
Oh, great play, straight onto AKM. That Nano Blade absolutely destroyed them. That was fantastic as well. sharyk died, and they realized that they had to commit to it. They can no longer play passively. They don't have the health pool to be able to just dance around. And so they had to go in there, use their ultimates, got mega value out of that Kruise ult, took out AKM while he was in the middle of his tactical visor. Actually got a bit of it refunded as well, didn't he? But
the trouble is now, look at the ultimate situation. winz got a sound barrier. NiCO's got a self-destruct soon with the pulse bomb. We know what he can do with that single ultimate ability alone. United, what have they got to work with? Morte's almost got his sound barrier. sharyk with the primal rage is going to be doing a decent amount of congestion. And uNFixed, he needs to be in the proper position right now with this tag visor. Moving in, again, another connection. Moving it onto a NiCO with the self-destruct.
That's huge.
Unreal.
He used his primal rage and jumped straight into the self-destruct and died. Great set play from Rogue. And this sound barrier from Morte catches 3, but it's not going to be enough here. Rogue can't